Thank you, and good morning, everyone. And I'd like to add my welcome to those of you who managed to get up. So great to have you here. We have a great panel first thing this morning, and I'd invite my panelists to come up to the stage, please, while I do a bit of an introduction. We have perspectives ranging from Europe all the way to the US or globally, with companies represented starting in the running order. This is not the running order. We'll go to the SKO in the Netherlands with Mariana. Then we'll hear from Julien from Médiamétrie in France. We'll then hear from Robert, who's representing AGF Germany but works for RTL. Then we have Martin from Channel 4. And we're ending up with Josh from Comscore giving us a bit of a global perspective from that angle. I'll be playing a little bit of a double role this morning. So before I turn into the moderator, I also have been asked to give you a little bit of the Viacom perspective. So I have very few slides, and I'm going to race through them very quickly. But it turns out that our perspective is actually really useful and helpful to set up some of the conversations that are coming after. So I work for Viacom, which for those of you who may not know includes brands like Nickelodeon, MTV, Comedy Central, Spike, Paramount Channel, and Channel 5 in the UK. And as that, we're looking at the audiences from basically cradle to almost grave, ranging throughout of that, and very heavily in the younger demographics, which means that the multi-screen measurement is incredibly important to us. So what we've been talking about lately is that while television as a platform is clearly evolving, and everybody knows this, there's no argument about this, and I'm not going to go into the individual numbers up there, what we've noticed is that television as an art form is absolutely thriving. And we see this, first of all, television has never been as good as it is today, as perceived by the audience. And on top of that, we have A-list Hollywood talent trying to do television left, right, and center, which is great. But that means something's clearly not quite right in the perception of the television industry. So while the skeptics have projected doom and gloom for television, what we really say is that we need to redefine what we understand television to be. We need to broaden that definition of TV, and we need to stop salami slicing it from live linear to VOD to DVR to SVOD to everything else. Because in the consumer perspective, everything is television. Now, what that is clearly evolving, and we think of evolution as opportunity. It's an opportunity to bring the great content that we all make to a larger audience in multiple ways and in better delivery mechanisms. That opportunity requires a lot of rethinking in organizations, and we like to think that we are at the forefront of that thinking. So our call to the industry is threefold. There's one more slide after this. We need to feed the super consumers. So we know that there are people out there who are really engaged with the content that is being produced. So we need to really deliver on them, and we need to deliver the content on every platform in every which way that is desired by the audience. So we need to make that work. We want to use technology secondarily to unlock growth, and that can happen from two areas. One is that the traditional geographic boundaries that have previously existed through cable systems or everything else is now gone. IPTV can be delivered across borders in various places. So there's a technological opportunity for growth there. But the other end is that in large parts of the world, pay TV penetration is way below 20%. However, all of those people do have smartphones. So how can we attract, or how can we deliver our content to all of those people that are outside the traditional television ecosystem in various different and innovative ways? And again, this is where technology can help us. And both of those things eventually lead to the third point, which is we need to help make multi-platform measurement a reality. And that requires transparency and true collaboration across the industry and across countries. And when I say collaboration, in my mind, that means collaboration between the different media types, as in TV, radio, online, because at the end of the day, we're all measuring the same thing. We're measuring audio-visual content. It means collaboration between measurement companies, because right now not a single one on their own has solved everything, so maybe we can do it together. And thirdly, also collaboration across geographies, because if we come up with different definitions in each different country, that's not really going to help us in the end either. Oh, and finally, it also requires collaboration between the media owners and the operators, because if you think about RPD panels, more data in different silos isn't going to be the answer here. So that's the Viacom perspective. I'm going to switch over now to moderator mode, so you see a physical change in me. And I'm going to call the first panelist up to the podium to talk us through the Dutch landscape, Mariana from SKO.